On entering the cab, I'm going to adjust my seat before I put on the all-important safety belt. I don't even call it a seat belt anymore. I'm trying to employ safety right at the get-go, right? Sir, I'm going to put my safety belt on. It's safe, keeps me safe, because he's not ripped, torn, frayed, cut, latches, no latches properly. Those ends are covered. Okay, sir, I'm going to do a safety equipment. Even the examiner sheet says emergency, but I'm trying to get that safety in his mind, right?
Gotcha.
Mr. Safety's in the seat. I'm gonna check my safety equipment. I'm gonna have minimum of a BC-10, possibly an ABC, but BC-10 fire extinguisher. BC is the type of fire it puts out. 10 is a 10-pounder, and he's mounted, secured, fully charged, pin in place, current sticker, easy reach of the driver, and that's overboard. You don't need all of that. But you want some semblance of that to sell that story. I got 3 red reflective triangles. They make triangles. They're reflective. There's 3. They're red. They're stored in a red box for safekeeping. Trust me, our body weight would break them if they're just laying about in the cab and you step on them. Now you're down to 2, and now you're down to 1, and pretty soon you're just totally out of whack, right? I want 3 red. They're properly weighted so they stand on their own. Don't get blown over by traffic. Correct? I got 1 extra fuse for every circuit on board unless I happen to have circuit breakers. I have circuit breakers, fuses are not required. Okay? So I'm going to do a safe start. I'm not going to mouth the words. I'm going to do a safe start. I'm going to put my foot on that clutch. I'm going to reach for the key and say, oh, Clyde said 3 things to check. Make sure the splitter is down. And it's not behind you, it's in front of you. Splitter's down, it's in neutral. They call that wall-to-wall, by the way. Go wall-to-wall with it. The little metal plate in there, wall-to-wall. Neutral, splitter down, brakes are applied, I can touch them. Now we can start this baby up. I'm starting at this point of the presentation, sir, so I have adequate air pressure at the conclusion.
So actually you start the truck, right?
Yeah,
You start it.
right.
Okay.
Okay, now that actually gave me a point. Now I'm gonna look at my gauges, whatever order they happen to be in, but we'll do it in the order I got it. I'm gonna do my, what's that? Yeah, on the newer trucks, yeah. Sometimes on the blue truck, you gotta turn a quarter turn, let them sweep, and then finish off starting it. So good point. Just only on the blue ones. If I'm in the red truck or one of the white trucks, I can start it right up. But nonetheless, good point. Thank you. Okay. You know, they don't put me in the good trucks to teach you. How crazy is that even, right?
All bad.
Anyhow, so now I've got it started. I'm waiting for the pressure to build. My temperature gauge is right here, sir. You can see it's readable. Needle is working, and he's at 170. But sir, I want that to climb to 180 to 200 to be operating range. Sir, right next to it is my oil pressure, and he's at 515. That certainly falls in my idle mode of 5 to 20, but I need him to climb over time to that 35 to 75 range. And sir, there is no volt. Oh, there it is. Let me try this button. There it is. 13.5 certainly falls within my 12 to 14.5 range for voltage. And looking good. Sir, my lights will be inclusive of a right signal, left signal, 4 ways. On this particular style, you get rid of the 4 ways by going to the turn signal mode. Okay? Right, left, okay. Clearance lights, that means everything's on butt headlights. Now the low beam. Now listen for the click. High beam. Little blue indicator light should come on, right? High beam's off. Okay? And the ABS light came on when I did that safe start, sir. Okay, now we're gonna do the horns. Beep, beep, beep. Honk! Which one was that one?
The air horn.
The air horn, yeah, that other one was.
That's the electric horn.
I've had Volkswagens with stronger horns, right? Than some of these trucks have. Something wrong there. But both horns have been executed or delivered on. Now my heater, turn it to the highest setting. Shh. Turn it to the lower heater. Shh. Turn the switch here to the upper defroster vents. Only by direction am I directing the heat flow from the vents, lower vents to the upper defroster vents. That's a point. Windshield, you can see, I can see all of you, so my windshield is clean, not cracked. A 1-inch crack is permissible if it's over in a peripheral area, not in my field of vision. properly sealed. The weather stripping should be intact, not all dry rotted and crumbly, cracked, or leaking. And of course, I got safety inspection sticker, current, good to the end of the year, and I got a couple insurance stickers or safety or state stickers over there. Current dates on them. Okay, sir, my mirrors, I've got 1, 2 per door, 2 on each door. I got 2 fender mirrors. I got 6 mirrors in total. As you can see, I can see out of them, so that means they're clean, not cracked, no decals. Just to me, the driver, they're not hanging loose or vibrating to the point of impact to me, right? Okay, I'm going to clean the exterior of the windshield as easily as I can by the use of a wiper. The wiper arms themselves are flush to the glass. That rubber strip or blade, of course, needs to be intact, not all dry rotted, loose, peeling, right? Washer fluid squirts properly. You can use the word squirt in there, right? That's the point. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead, now that check my air pressure. I'm not going to do the gauges yet, sir, but checking my air pressure, I'm at 110 PSI. Let me get them out of the way. 100, they cut in. Governor cuts in at 100, 120 to 140. Governor cuts out, it actually makes the psh noise. Governor cut out. And then, of course, I just heard that psh. That must have been it. Okay, and of course at 150 is shut down, but we don't use shut down anymore, so even I gooped on that. Safety release valve opens the valve to alleviate the air pressure, right? Okay, I got a point for that guy. Now we're going to go ahead and do some brake tests here. We'll do the spring test first. Secured in low gear. I'm going to reduce the parking brake to do the applied trailer. Ease off the clutch, get a tug on them. Reset, both brakes out, back to neutral. Okay, so I did the trailer. Now we'll do the parking. Secured in low gear, use the clutch. Secured in low gear. Release the trailer this time to do the applied parking brake. Get a tug on it. Reset, both brakes out, back to neutral. I'm getting it. Okay? Already did the PSI gauges. Let me move right to the test here where I moved 15 feet ahead. We'll call that the service brake, since that's the combination service brake. Secured in low gear. Release both brakes. Grab the steering wheel. Ease off the clutch. Now with both brakes released, I should get movement. I don't need the accelerator. Foot's just hovering over the brake pedal, but not on it. Let it move that 15 feet. Apply the clutch to prevent stalling, and then the brake pedal. Lighten up on the steering wheel just at that last moment to see if there's any vibration. Check your mirrors to see there's no side-to-side movement in the back. Any such movement could be indicative of those 5 problems. Tire, brake, suspension problem. Could be uneven load, load shift, or a figment of your damn imagination. I wouldn't go with the 6 movement. Okay, didn't happen, sir. Reset. Do the Johnson bar. The only time you don't have to do the Johnson bar is if it's not on the truck. There's at least one in the rotation that doesn't have a Johnson bar. But the Johnson bar is ultimately a trailer-only service brake, right? It'll slow down or stop that trailer. So, secure in low gear by using the clutch. Release both brakes. Let go of the clutch. Let it move forward 10 feet. Apply the Johnson bar, which, by the way, is spring-loaded. Clutch, Johnson bar. Clutch, Johnson bar. Slow down or stop. Claim success. Put your foot on the brake pedal as you release the spring-loaded Johnson bar. That's the movement portion. What if he wants you to tug on it? Well, it would be the same setup. Secure in low gear. Release both spring brakes. Find the Johnson bar. Apply it. And hold the wheel. Let go of the clutch so you end up tugging against an applied Johnson bar, which serves the same purpose of proving that it works, right? So that would be a tug on the Johnson versus movement on it. Everybody see the slight difference there? Let go. Foot on the back on the brake. Reset. Back to neutral. I'm 14 points into this, but if I don't get this 15th point, see you all next Friday. This one is all instant fails in here. The most instant fails you have is in that last applied fan 1 and fan 2. So let's make sure we do those right. Secure it in low gear by using the clutch. Keep your foot on that clutch. Reach over and turn the power off. Now at this point I can take my foot off the clutch. I personally turn it off and power at the same time while my hand's still there. Power off, Power up, mention the ABS light one more time if I failed to mention him earlier. Take my foot totally off the clutch, right to the floor. Release the tractor and the trailer, hence the terminology triple release. Right? Release the clutch, tractor, trailer. Let the needle sweep. If it's the newer trucks, let it stabilize for 10 seconds. Combine the two. Sir, I'm going to let the needle sweep or stabilize for 10 seconds. Get me a new start number, since everything now is all air numbers, right? Air PSI numbers. If I went from 120 down to 112, did I not lose 8 PSI? Yeah, then that's my new start number is 112. Now, sir, I'm going to hold that brake pedal for 1 minute. 1 minute later, looking back at my gauges, I should not have lost any more than 4 PSI in a combination. So I went from 112 to 108, or possibly 111. Only 3 PSI lost if I was in a straight bobtail single unit. Take my foot off, go to fan mode, fan that brake pedal to the approximation of just before 60 PSI, when I should on my dashboard get a lighter buzzer, or low air warning devices, if you prefer that terminology, which is the essence of that test. Just before 60, light and buzzer. You with me? Close out, fan 2, continue in a downward fan down motion to approximation of 40 to 20. What should happen somewhere between 40 and 20 is a pop or a single pop, trailer followed by the parking. They can pop at the same time, but they both need to pop for the conclusion of this test. The range is quite clear, 40 to 20. Anything above 40, I'm going to mention it to the guy. Anything under 20. So let's say the trailer pops at 20, but the tractor or parking doesn't want to pop.